Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Nobody. It was written by the man behind John Wick, Derek Kolstad, and was directed by Inyoye Shola, the man behind Hardcore Henry. It stars Bob Odenkirk, Connie Nielsen, Raza, Christopher Lloyd, and Michael Ironside. The film really looks at Hutch Menzel, played by Bob Odenkirk. He's a simple man living a simple life. Everything's predictable, days are exactly the same every week, and it just shows him as a sort of man who's sort of down and out and is half the man he used to be. But he's not quite what he seems. After he's unable to defend his family against two people breaking into his home, there's this rage inside of him that slowly simmers. There's something that is trying to get out. And ultimately, after an altercation on a bus with a group of guys, he unleashes, and ultimately the side of him opens up that he didn't expect or hadn't seen in a long time. But the attack on the bus has consequences. It really becomes a race against time, trying to stop the people that are after him and his family. And it leads to quite a violent and bloody ending. I was really impressed with this. What fun and pure entertainment this film actually is. The trailer sets it up exactly how it is. It's entertaining. It sucks you into this particular world. There's a pace and a movement to it. It's never slow. It's sort of continuously moving and evolving as the movie goes on. Some really great action scenes and action set pieces that are just really fantastic to watch. There's even a car chase in it. Just the way, the use of the camera, the movement of the camera, and the sort of, and the fluidity of it, of the way it moves and the camera comes in and out of scenes, and the way it's used is fantastic. I think the director's done a fantastic job. He really seems to understand action and knows how to do it really well and how to capture that on screen. So it's captivating and interesting all the way through. It is a very violent film in many aspects. There are some really violent scenes that are kind of funny but a bit disturbing as well. And it's just sort of throws you into a world you weren't quite sure about. It does remind me a lot of John Wick in many ways. The story's obviously very different, and Hutch is a very different character to John Wick. I think all the acting's solid, all from the bit part players as well, such as Connie Nielsen is really good as Hutch's wife, and she's sort of a little bored with life as well, and she knows he's not the man she used to know. And she wants him sort of to come back, and after he unleashes this side of him that he's been hiding and keeping dormant, she sort of starts to respect him. There's kind of an interesting dynamic between the two then, and I really like that. Raza appears in it, and he's really great in the scenes he has. He's kind of an interesting character, and to see him and Bob Odenkirk working together is really great. And he adds a fun and interesting element to the movie, and I like his character involvement in the whole film. Christopher Lloyd is fantastic. He nearly steals the movie for me. This is the best role he's had in a long time. It is only a small role, but he's so great in it. I've never seen him quite play a role like this, and you get to see him sort of in a way you don't expect, and I love that, and he's just fantastic to watch, and I look forward to seeing if there are more of these movies if he reappears, because I think he's such a great character. He's very funny and interesting and has some really great moments, and I absolutely loved him. But the real standout here is Bob Odenkirk. He's a surprise. He's an unassuming sort of actor. He's mostly known for comedy, drama-ish sort of stuff, I guess, with Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. But you haven't really seen him in a role like this. He really is convincing as this character, which you wouldn't expect. He is a character that's unassuming. You think you know who he is at the beginning of the film, but he really isn't who he seems, and I love that. And he's able to handle the action and fight sequences really well. The sequence I've mentioned before on the bus, this is the sequence, this is a big set piece, this is the action sequence that shows who he truly is and unleashes this violence and this rage that he's had hidden within him. It's such a fantastic sequence. He isn't one of these characters who goes and kicks everybody's ass and not a scratch on him. He gets his ass handed to him many times. He's sort of rusty, the character's sort of rusty with what he's capable of. But the fight sequence and what he does in that is fantastic. And because Odenkirk comes from comedy, adds a splash of humour there in a simple way. And I love that. And this sequence is probably one of my favourite parts of the film. The action sequence towards the end in the third act is brilliant as well. But there's just something about this sequence I really love. And you just see this evolution of him as a character. And he's just fantastic. I absolutely loved him in this. I want to see him do more things like this because I think it's a really surprising role for an actor like him. And it once again shows just because someone comes from comedy doesn't mean they can't do these sort of things. And I loved that. I thought he was brilliant in it and such a great, captivating character. So the action sequences are really interesting, and there's just so many things that happen. When they come for him in his house, I love the sequence that transpires for that. It's really violent and brutal, and you really see who this man is and what he's capable of and how violent he can be. And once he's awakened this thing inside of him, he can't close it off again, and it's just there. It also shows the consequences to his actions. He has to do things he didn't want to do, stuff he's left behind, and I love that as well. This was just exactly what I wanted to be. Sometimes I like a movie that's about action. It's about a man who feels rage inside and wants to unleash it. There's something extraordinary and visceral and really think is fantastic, and this really encompasses that in so many ways. Really entertaining movie. Final thoughts. In the end, it's really about this man trying to escape his past and living a sort of normal and simple life, but he's lost the essence and the sense of who he is as a man. He doesn't know who he is. He's left behind something of him that he hasn't looked at or experienced in years, and it's about how that comes out, but it comes out in him in a good way, in a way that allows him to evolve and change and be a bit more of the man he used to be. I'm going to give Nobody 4 out of 5. Highly entertaining, fun, engaging film, and a really captivating and fun storyline. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.